Welcome to the Fill Your Cups podcast. We're your hosts,
Morgan
and Bailey. Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode. We're kind of kicking it off with a little bit of a how-to and a bit of fun, I guess, combined into one. We are talking about 3 small wins a day and the 3 things that you should be looking out for every day. So that way you can really have some good reflection and some really good intentional days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited about this episode. I think it's something that I am personally needing in my life, which I feel like are always how our episode ideas come about, is like one of us kind of needs it.
Yeah.
So we end up doing it. But I'm super excited for it. Before we jump fully into the episode, what's filling your cup today?
I have a vanilla cola Zevia and a water.
Delicious.
What about you?
I've just got a water. It
Yeah.
is, as I always say, so freaking hot outside.
Yeah.
And I just need to hydrate.
One of these days it'll stop. I'm pretty sure we're either about to have, I don't know when this episode's coming out. We're either about to have a cooler weekend or just had one.
Oh, God, I need it.
Yeah.
So I really hope it's coming up soon because it's like 100 outside again.
For real. Yeah.
I hate it.
We also have a shout out. So we wanted to shout you out if you are watching on YouTube.
Yes.
Or if you ever have. I mean, we love that people watch on or people listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Oh,
I know I listen on Apple Podcasts, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure you listen on Spotify.
Yeah.
But when we started doing video, we were like, let's just try YouTube too.
Mhm.
And we noticed that in the last month, so we still don't have that many subscribers, but I was going in to post our episode, and it posts to all 3, and then like Amazon Music, a few other places too.
Yeah.
And I saw that we literally doubled our subscribers in the last 28 days, which was exciting. So if you're new here, you're one of those new subscribers, thank you.
Yes.
If you don't subscribe to us on YouTube, you might as well go subscribe, even if you don't watch there. Like,
Mhm.
I'm a subscriber on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube.
It doesn't hurt anybody.
Doesn't hurt anybody. So might as well. But also, I was looking at the analytics, and our views had increased quite a bit as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I was really excited about that. So
Yeah.
thank you, no matter what platform you support us on, because personally, I'm more of an audio person.
Mhm.
But no matter what platform you support us on, we just want to say thank you. Analytics like that are really fun to see, and it's
Mhm.
nice to see when something is increasing and figure out, why that might be.
Yeah.
So if you are one of those new subscribers on YouTube, we would love to hear it. Drop a comment. And if you are like a newer viewer,
Mhm.
I would also love to know how you found us.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
yeah. So definitely if you're on YouTube, drop a comment, because we need to figure out what we're doing right now.
Yes. Well, yes. Thank you guys so much for watching on YouTube, listening, however you consume this podcast. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Now on to today's episode. So if I'm being completely honest, I got this idea from Pinterest. I saw this really cute graphic, and it was talking about these 3 wins that you need to be looking out for every day. One of them being a mental win, one of them being a physical win, and then one of them being like a soul win, like one for your soul, one for your heart kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you and I have both talked about doing kind of like these reflection-based things every day, whether it is sharing what the best part of your day was before
Mhm.
bed, or rating your day on your walk,
Mm-hmm.
or something you're grateful for. Kind of like whatever it is. I feel like we both like to do that. And I do think that it really does help me stay grounded in my days. It helps me look for the good in the days, helps me kind of just like stay positive, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But once you do one of those prompts so many times, you start kind of like recycling these ideas,
Yeah.
or being like, oh, what was the best part of your day? The best part of my day was getting home from work. Or, oh, what was the best part of your day? Best part of my day was watching Big Brother. Like, they just kind of start repeating itself
Mhm.
over and over. And so once I saw this, I was like, well, that's definitely a new thing that I can be on the lookout for.
Mhm.
And I like that it's 3 different things. So you're really focusing on your mental, your physical, and then your soul well-being
Mhm.
throughout every day. And I thought that was just so fun.
Yeah, I also really like that it's not just something you're grateful for, it's a win, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of a little pat on the back, which I don't feel like we
Yeah.
do enough of. I feel like it's very underrated in our culture
Yeah.
to kind of, I guess it's almost bragging on yourself kind of
Being
thing.
like, I'm proud of myself for this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and there are certain people in safe spaces where you might feel comfortable to do that, but I feel like for the most part,
Mhm.
I do think it's kind of awkward to
Mhm.
be like, I did this today, am I
Mhm.
rock?
Did
know?
you hear?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I do really like this because I think we talk about this a lot, but your brain confirms the beliefs that you already believe to be
Yes.
true, and it finds evidence to support those. So whenever you're telling yourself, heck yeah, I killed it. Today I, checked this thing off my list, or today my physical win was I got the dog out for a walk or something like that, then your brain continues to see the good in you and
Yeah.
starts to look for those wins as well.
Yes.
And then you're looking for the wins instead of the losses. And
yes.
it's, even though it's not directly being like, I'm grateful for this, or this was a great part
Mhm.
of my day,
Mhm.
it's a way of setting your mindset up for like a winning mindset
Yeah.
instead of a losing one, which I agree I need as well, because anymore I feel like every day I'm like really mopey.
Yeah.
Oh, what
Like
was
my
me?
day was hard.
Yeah. So
yes. Which, I mean, life is hard.
Yeah.
Days are hard. Going to work sucks. Having bills due sucks. Like, it does get really hard. And I think
Mhm.
that is specifically for me why I really want to focus on these wins, like you
Yeah.
were saying, because it can be so easy to just feel kind of beat down by the end of the day, or just kind of feel like, oh my God, we have another day of doing this all over again. And sometimes it can just feel so exhausting. Yeah, some days are discouraging, some days are harder than others. So I just think that this can be such a great way to reflect on your day and to look for the good in the day and look for what you did to make your day better, and yeah, find those wins within yourself.
Yeah. I really like that we are, so even though a lot of the time our bit of fun episodes are just kind of like we brainstorm a bunch of ideas and share them so that people can start getting inspired. And I feel like that's partially what this is, but I really like that we're doing kind of a how-to version of it. So as we go through, we'll explain how we apply them, or how we think of wins, I guess.
Yeah.
But then also, I think it'll be helpful because when I first read through your thoughts on this, I was kind of like, wait a second. I'm mixing up like mental and soul, or
Yeah.
well, this could be a physical win, but it also could be kind of a soul win, or and so I
Yeah.
think that I'm looking forward to seeing how they apply to different people
Yeah.
too, in kind of that like how to apply part of the episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that it'll be good, and hopefully kind of turn the corner on the mopey dopey.
Yes.
stuff.
Yes. Get this shit started.
Yeah.
Definitely. I do want to give a quick disclaimer before we get into all the 3 different categories of the wins, that these wins that you are coming up with, they do not have to be these huge things. They can just be these small intentional actions that contribute to the reflection of your day and the sense of accomplishment. So we're going to go through this list, and you might hear something that you're like, would you really consider that a win? And it's like, yeah, I really would. Like, this is a great thing for my day.
That's the idea. 3 small wins.
3 small wins.
It's looking for the victory and the small stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Training your brain to do that. So I love that.
Excited. You ready to get into our first category?
Heck yeah. So we're starting with mental.
This involves your mind and your thoughts. So whatever's kind of exercising that side of your brain. One of the first ones on the list is reading your book. So for you, that might be a chapter a night. That might be an hour a night. It might be 10 pages a night. Whatever it is, that can be a win for you in your book.
It could be that you listen to your audiobook on the way to the store instead of something else. So
instead of consuming other media, you're like, I listened to my book today. I feel really good about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Another one that I wrote was morning journaling. I have heard of, I used to do this more often. I want to get back in the swing of it. But if you just set a timer for like 5 minutes or something, it's a brain dump is what it is, where you open your journal or piece of paper or whatever, and you just kind of empty out all of your thoughts. And I feel like it's really, really good for setting up your day to have a little bit more mental clarity and just kind of get the brain fog out, because a lot of the time we wake up with all these thoughts of, oh, I've got to do this and I've got to do that and whatever. And just kind of not even you don't even have to make it into a list
Mhm.
form, but just kind of just writing down everything that comes to your brain for a couple of minutes.
Mhm.
I think is very small, but very
Yeah.
helpful. So
It'd be a huge win.
it would be a huge one.
Yes, that makes me feel like if I were to do that, my list or my morning dump. Wait, that's funny. My morning dump.
Brain dump.
Yeah, my morning brain dump. It would be like a to-do list,
Mhm.
which I have as a mental win. So if completing a to-do list, mental win for sure there. I feel like that's one that could kind of also go into a physical side of someone being like, I think that for me, completing a to-do list would be more physical because I was running all these errands or I was doing all these chores in the house, whatever it is. And that's totally fine. If that's more of a physical win for you, that is more than okay. For me, I think it'd be a huge mental win because I'd be like, oh, I just feel so good about it. I feel so accomplished. I feel so productive. I feel lighter. I feel airy. So
there might be
I would
things
definitely
on
love that.
like checking off the last thing on the list might be a mental win, but there might be something on the list like going to the gym
Yeah.
that is a
specifically-
physical win. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it could kind of cover both.
Yeah.
You could be like at the end of the night, going to the gym was a physical win for me, but also completing my to-do list, which included going to the gym,
Yeah.
was a mental win for me.
Yes. And they both count.
Another one that I had was listening to a podcast that's uplifting.
Oh my God, what podcast?
So maybe Fill Your Cups could be an option. But I really do actually at the end of the day, whenever I feel like even just like a 15-minute
Mhm.
quick pep talk podcast or
Yeah.
something like that, I feel like that's a big win when you can saturate your day or a moment at least with some uplifting stuff.
Yeah, literally on my drive over here, I was kind of feeling not like overstimulated or anything like that, but I was just feeling like my music and you guys are gonna really judge me for this one, but I watch TV when I drive sometimes.
Oh my gosh, you
But it's not
never
like-
don't watch TV.
I know for me, TV is the same thing as music for other people. So it's not like I'm actually watching it.
It's always like Friends or
But
something.
yeah,
you've seen
Friends
a
or
million
Gilmore
times.
Girls where I can
New
quote,
Girl.
exactly, where I can quote every single scene. So it's like I'm not really watching it.
Yeah.
But anyway, all that to be said, on my drive over here, I was feeling like I didn't really want to consume that kind of media. Like it just wouldn't have kept my brain occupied. And I think it's because baby is on the brain. Like that is all I can think about. And so on my way over here, I listened to a podcast about like labor and like 7 ways to manage your pain during labor. And so that's what I
Okay.
listened to on my way over here. And I felt really good about it. And I felt like it was allowing my brain to kind of turn off from the thoughts while also listening to what I needed to hear instead of just consuming this media that normally I love, but today it wouldn't have worked for me.
Yeah, definitely a mental win.
Yeah, definitely a mental win, and it can be as small as that. I also had on there, I was thinking of Mason when I put this one on there because he really like strives for this, but reducing your screen time on your phone. If you notice that most days I spend 3 hours on TikTok, today I spent 2 hours on TikTok. That can be a huge win for you.
For sure.
Or like I noticed that I did not have my phone when I was eating dinner with my significant other. That's a great win because you're reducing that screen time. And that might not be important for you to reduce your screen time. Might be important for you. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like that could be a mental win.
And what you were saying a second ago about how baby's on the brain all the time.
Yeah.
Like there's something to be said for depending on what the screen time is that you're doing. It's just additional stimulation. So one day that might need to be a mental win versus another day it might not. You might not have as much mental stimulation going on.
Yes.
You don't have to do that, you know.
Yes.
I definitely feel I notice I have more screen time. Well, I guess I count. I'm not thinking of just phone screen time. I'm thinking of like TV time.
Yeah.
I do more TV time on the weekends than I do during the week because I go to bed a little bit earlier during the week. And so, and I kind of I try to limit like an hour before bed. I try not to look at screens.
Oh, which is great. I really need to get back into that.
The stimulation affects my sleep so much. And I am not joking you. I'm not that much older than you, but I am older than you, and it just gets harder. So the sleep, I mean, and I've always been a good sleeper.
Yes, you have been.
But I do notice that the more screen time I have closer to bed, the harder it is for my brain to turn off. So,
Which totally makes sense.
okay.
Let's move on to physical.
Mhm.
This is one that I think is a little bit easier to come up with just because it's easier to remember like what you actually physically did that day. But physical is going to be anything involving your body and movement, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mentioned this one earlier kind of in the intro, but taking your pet out for a walk, especially I was telling you when you got here, lately we have been skipping our afternoon walks because it's
Mhm.
just way too damn hot.
So hot.
So, especially if it's been really hot or really cold or really rainy or something, you finally get out of the house, that could definitely be a big win physically
Yes.
at the end of the day. You're like, I finally got out of the house, got my body moving, wasn't
Mhm.
cooped up, win.
Yes, huge win. Mine is getting 8 hours of sleep. I
Mm.
feel like we don't think about this one and we don't think of it as a physical win, but it totally is. If you are getting, maybe it's not 8 hours for you, maybe it's 10 hours, maybe it's 7 hours. I don't know. Whatever it is for you is fine. But getting your actual good amount of sleep
Mhm.
is so good for your day because it sets you up so well.
Mhm.
And I think I would really include that as a win for a
Definitely.
day.
One that I had added is playing a rec sport. So,
Oh,
for instance, on
yeah.
volleyball days, it's always nice to come home and be like, okay, I got outside and I
Mhm.
played sand volleyball or whatever. And I think that sometimes because this is something that you do routinely,
Mhm.
that you can kind of forget that it is a win. But it
Yeah.
is. It is. If you go out and you play softball or volleyball or disc golf or whatever it is
Yeah.
for hour, 2 hours or whatever,
Mhm.
you'd be like, I
I
got out.
completely agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think the fun thing about these lists is that they can also like you can tie them into other categories because I could see this one being like a mental win as well, being like, I was so exhausted. I really did not want to, but I still showed up for myself.
Yeah.
That's a mental win. Maybe that's a mental win. Or being like, maybe this is a soul win for you. You went to the rec sport and you got to see your friends and your sister,
Mhm.
and it makes your heart feel good. Like I like that.
Totally.
It can, and really every day can be different about
Yeah.
like what part of your cup needed to be filled more in that
Oh yeah.
situation. So I love that one.
Yeah. At this point, we talked about the taking your pet for a walk. At this
Mhm.
point, taking Eddard for a walk is not just because we're in the routine of it. It's just
Mhm.
it's not as much of a physical win as it is like mental for
Yeah.
me. Whenever I'm just it for us, it's a separating work from life kind of thing.
So it's like a little break.
So it's a mental clearing between the two, you know?
Yes,
Little boundary.
absolutely. I like that. This one's pretty obvious on the physical side, but a workout class or getting your workout in, whatever that looks like for you, whether that is maybe some yoga, whether that's the hot Pilates, whether that wait, did they do hot Pilates?
Yes, but
It's mostly hot yoga.
they call it hot yoga, but there are like hot yoga classes that are Pilates style, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever it is,
Yeah.
I think that that's a great one. You got up, you showed up for yourself, your body feels great, your adrenaline's pumping, win.
Mm-hmm. A really good one that I need to start implementing. But if you just did like some stretches before bed. So
Yeah.
and honestly, maybe you're about to go to bed and you're like, I can't think of a physical win. Get on the ground and do a couple stretches, you know?
Yes.
It's really, really nice. And it can just be like a couple stretches, 5 minutes, get you in the zone. And like we said, sleep is so important. So it just gets you in the right space to be able to
Yeah.
fall asleep better.
Yeah, I've actually been doing stretches before bed.
Oh,
Now, mine are a little bit different because I'm like doing birth prep stretches of like pelvic tilts and downward dog and like just all these things on this giant yoga ball. But it has been so nice and it does make me feel good. It makes my body feel really relaxed.
I feel like it would make your belly feel like so heavy though.
Dude, it does.
In
It actually
certain
does.
positions.
Yes. It will actually make her move around like crazy. Like she'll start squirming.
Really?
And I think it's because my belly's moving so much while I'm doing all
Oh.
these stretches. So like the other day,
I just picture like downward dog just feeling like
yeah, I mean it really does. I was doing it's like a cow or something.
cat cow.
Cat cow, yeah. Okay. I was doing cat cow the other day because they say it's really good to open up your pelvis and it's also
Oh.
like good for back pain, I guess.
Fine, yeah.
So I was doing it the other day and I went into, I'm assuming cat's
Cat's the one where
down.
you're arched. and
Okay, so then I was doing cow.
Because think about, you know how cats when they're scared they like arch their
Yes, I was thinking about how when a dog stretches.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that's
yeah,
more
yeah.
downward dog.
Yeah.
And also not involved in this stretch. But okay, so I was in the cow position where you're like your back is
Arched.
arched. Yes.
Belly's down.
Belly touching the floor.
Oh my
It was
God.
so funny. I was like, oh, I didn't know that was gonna happen. Like, that was a weird movement. I don't know. It was
Oh,
really
that's
funny. But I really have been doing those stretches before bed, and I've been really enjoying it. And I actually have another example of this. Literally last night before bed, I was so tired, but my body was kind of achy. And I had said to Mason, I was like, I don't want to do my stretches before bed. And I was just straight up gonna get in bed. And he goes, baby, you should do them. And I was like, okay. So I get up and I just start doing them. I did them for like 10 minutes while watching your Friends episode. And the whole time I was thinking, I'm so glad I'm doing this.
That's a big win.
It was a huge win. Yeah. I was like, I'm so glad I'm doing this. My back feels so much better. I just feel like, ooh, I did it. And so, yeah, I would have totally counted that as my physical win for yesterday.
Maybe getting into the habit of doing 3 small wins a day will help us anytime we're saying about something, I really don't want to do this. Be like,
wait.
but wait, if I do it, I can.
It'll be a win
at the end of the day.
Yes, yes. Makes it easier to look for and then makes it easier to plan for.
Seriously.
I love that one. I have one on here as drinking your water for the day. So getting your water intake. Super small one, but a great one to count as a win, especially if you're like me and have problems drinking water. Huge win.
Yeah. We also have, this is another kind of obvious one, like the workout class, but if you ate really good, whole food meals or whatever throughout the day, and you're at the end of the day and you're feeling really good, not bloated, huge win.
Yes.
In my opinion, I feel like this is a great one for like, I've been noticing this right after getting back from vacation on a day when I do eat really well and I like drink all my water or whatever, and I go to bed, I'm like, wow, I just feel better.
Yes.
Feel so much better.
And you're like, I really did that for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
I think my last one on this list is another liquid/drink one, but it's like cutting your caffeine intake, or maybe cutting your alcohol intake for the day, whatever it is that more applies to you. But I also thought of Mason for this one when I was coming up with him, because he really focuses on cutting like his caffeine intakes for some days. And I was just trying to think of, like, he's such a different person than me. So like what's considered a win for other people. So he was like my muse for some of this.
Yeah.
Because for me, I don't really care that much because I love caffeine. So I'm like, whatever. And I'm on a caffeine limit right now, being pregnant anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when I didn't go above 200 milligrams, woohoo. But for him, he's like, I didn't have any caffeine today. Or like, I made sure that this thing was sugar-free for my drink, or whatever it was. So I feel like that could be a win.
Yeah, for me, I feel like it would be less about, I cut my caffeine intake, and more about, later in the afternoon, I was really dragging and I wanted to have another cup of coffee, but I knew it would affect my sleep and I didn't.
Yeah.
So win.
Exactly. Or you woke up in the morning and you gave yourself an hour before you drank the coffee.
Yeah.
Don't they say that's like a good thing with your cortisol levels?
It is, because when you wake up in the morning, your cortisol levels are already naturally high.
So then you feed them with coffee and it like shoots through the roof and then you crash.
Yes. And especially if you eat like a really sugary breakfast, does the same thing. If you I work out in the mornings, and that also elevates your cortisol. And so it's like, can just be like 5 things all at once that are spiking your cortisol, and then now you're stressed.
Yeah. Well, there you go. A physical win. You didn't spike your cortisol.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that kind of wraps up our things for physical, unless you had anything that popped into your brain.
I think that's it for now.
Okay.
On the physical side.
So then our last one is kind of soul, which feels a little bit more maybe vague, but it's really just, it involves your heart and nurturing your inner self, just kind of self-care, or just things that made you feel like yourself.
Yeah. And like things that made you feel good.
At peace.
Yes. And that's how I differentiate them from mental. I'm like, mental is like involves your mind and your thoughts, and soul involves your heart.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
The way you feel.
Yeah. And like we said, these can really be interchangeable. So whatever works for you best in these categories.
Yeah.
Well, I had on here participating in an act of kindness, whether that is holding the door open for someone, donating blood, hint, hint, go listen to our little 2 episodes ago. Offering to mow your neighbor's yard, sending a cute little gift to your mom, something like that. Just a little act of kindness that nobody asked you for, but it's going to make you feel good once you're like, oh, I like that I did this for that person. I feel good.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had one, this kind of, it's, I guess, not an act of kindness, but it was something fun that I did recently where when we were in Charleston, all the restaurants, not all of them, but a lot of them, they would give you a postcard with your bill.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them gave us this cute postcard. And I was like, well, who am I going to send this to? And we have a good friend, Nick, who has lived in Japan for several years, like since college. And he has sent us postcards from Japan before. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm finally going to send him a postcard.
I love that.
Yeah. And his birthday is actually, it's the same day as John's.
Oh, yes.
So it
You
was
guys
like
just talked about that.
so it was like right after we got back from my birthday.
Uh-huh.
And so I sent it to him and I was like, this is from our birthday trip. Happy birthday to you too, you know? And I really hope it got to him because I asked his mom for his address and it was total gibberish to me because it's in Japan.
Right.
But that was really fun and it was definitely like a soul win that day.
Yeah.
And I guess it's not an act of kindness necessarily, but it was like something for someone else.
Yeah.
That made me happy.
It was telling that person, hey, I'm thinking of you.
Yes.
And you didn't even have to do anything.
Yes.
That's actually on my list as one of them is like texting someone and telling them you love them.
Aww.
I think it's so easy. And I think it's just a good way to nourish your soul.
Yeah, just being like, I connected with them.
Yeah.
I love that. Another one that I have is going to therapy. This is a big, I mean, this could be a big win depending on you, but if I know that for me, I don't know about you. I feel like our generation's a lot more comfortable with canceling things like this last minute. And so it's another one of those things when I was thinking of wins, I was thinking a lot of things that I might be likely to be like, I don't really want to do that. Your stretches or something.
Yeah.
And so I feel like therapy could be one where you're like, I don't really want to do that. Never mind. And then cancel. So actually like going and doing it.
Yes. That's a
big win.
Great win. I had on here changing your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. So if something happened to you that day where normally you would have just totally freaked out or someone did something you're like, that's annoying, like whatever it is, but then being able to catch yourself in the middle of the thought and changing it and being like, okay, it doesn't affect me that much. Or, okay, this person had no negative intent behind it. Whatever it is, I think that could be a really good thing for your soul because you're reminding your body and yourself that you're not in fight or flight. You don't have to be a victim in this situation. And I think it could just be a really good way to nourish the inner self.
Yeah. And it's a good reminder that you're evolving and that you are growing as a person.
Yes.
That's good for the soul.
Yes. I like to think of it as like, sometimes when I say things like changing your negative thoughts into positive ones, I feel so like hippy dippy. But I'm like, for me, and it might be different for other people, but for me, I'd love to be a soft version of myself.
Yes.
And changing negative thoughts into positive ones is such a soft characteristic to me. And I would love just soft and fairy-like and just going on about my day.
Yes. Taking nothing personally.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I've been thinking about this a lot with after we did our assuming positive intent episode.
Ooh, yes.
Because I definitely don't assume positive intent immediately with everyone.
Yeah.
There are certain people that I do. I'm like, they could just never mean me any harm.
Yeah.
Even if maybe they do. But for a lot of people, I'm like, they would never.
Right.
And then there are certain times where I'm like, obviously this was not personal. But there are definitely times where
you're like, was it?
Yeah. And so I do love the idea of just I've been thinking about this a lot whenever I am interpreting something that someone did and then just thinking like, you know what? They could have been stressed. They could have not realized they said it that way. They could have, it could have had nothing to do with me and everything to do with their cat or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be any one of a million things.
It could straight up be a miscommunication.
Yeah. So changing my negative thought and feeling of, oh, they don't like me or they were trying to cut me off or they didn't like this about what I did or something. And to just like it was totally not about me, you know, or
Mhm.
whatever. Yeah, I like that
Yes.
one a lot.
Good for the soul.
Yes. This was interesting because so I had started brainstorming ones for mental after I saw
Mhm.
your list, and I had put meditating on there.
Yeah.
But then I saw that you had it on soul, and I think it could really go either.
It really could, depending on what you're needing it for.
Yeah, because sometimes Jared's actually really good about this. Sometimes when he's really anxious or like prior to traveling or something like that,
Mhm.
he will tell me, hey, I'm going to go do like a 10-minute meditation or something like
Mhm.
that. And I feel like it's really a mental reset for him.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was thinking of mental.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it could definitely be kind of like that soul, inner calm,
Yeah.
resets your whole being for the day kind of thing too.
Yeah.
So
Completely
it really
agree.
could go for either.
It really could. My last thing on this list is if it aligns with your beliefs, then praying. I think that that can be very similar to meditating for some people, but if praying is something that, like I said, aligns with your beliefs, I think it could be a really good soul win.
Definitely.
Mhm.
And then we also had starting your day with positive mantras
Oh,
or gratitudes.
yeah.
And if you didn't listen to our episode 62 about our favorite mantras,
It's a
you
good
sh-
episode.
yeah, if you are looking for mantras to start your day with so that you have a soul win, you should go listen to that episode because those mantras are so good. But
Yes.
yeah, starting the day with a positive mantra or gratitude, you could write it on your mirror, like
Mhm.
bathroom mirror while you get ready or something. And then at the end of the day, you can say, you know, it was really good to start my day with this mantra or
Yeah.
this gratitude. That was
Yeah.
a small win for me.
Yes, I love that one. I think that that kind of wraps up our list for all these different category ideas. But I really, really encourage you to start. I'm personally going to start ending my days with these 3 wins. I think that I'll probably ask Mason what his 3 are before
Mhm.
bed. And so I'm going to make him do this with me. But I think that I'm going to start asking him before bed and then just really kind of incorporating this into my day, but I really strongly encourage you to do this as well. Whether that is with your partner, maybe it's with your kids while you're putting them to bed. Maybe it is just in a journal while you're reflecting for the day. Maybe you're sending this to your group chat full of your girlfriends and saying like, "Hey guys, here's my 3 wins for the day. What are your guys's?"
Mhm.
And just kind of asking each other. I think it could be a really good thing to start doing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So you imagine like you're planning to apply at the end of the day.
Yes.
Right.
I think so. That's
So
how
you
I've kind
can
of always
reflect.
done my ones. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that we can so I'll make like a template that our
Mhm.
listeners or watchers, YouTubers, that they can screenshot from our Instagram at Fill Your Cup Podcast.
Mhm.
And I'll make like a couple different templates so that they can do that. And then that way, if people want to kind of join us on this challenge, like 3 small wins challenge,
Mhm.
then you can like change out what your wins are each day and keep track of them
Yeah.
and hold each other accountable. I feel like it would be really fun to have those templates and then have them tag us and maybe do like a small wins September.
Yes, I love the
Challenge.
idea of like a full month of September challenge. Of
Yeah.
just trying to get yourself to focus on these 3 wins every day for the month of September and then just seeing how it affected your month and
Yeah.
see what kind of person you are going into October. I think that would just be so fun.
I think so too. And if you did it physically as well, or like on the template or something, I think it would be really, really cool to look back and remember like, oh yeah, that was it's just good to not take for granted those small things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm definitely going to start posting them on my story.
Fun.
I'll do it on my personal story so that way I don't clog up everybody's Fill Your Cup stories. But then I will be sharing it on Fill Your Cups, of course. But I'm going to do it on my story and then put like whatever my 3 wins for that day were.
Cute.
I'll probably do it if it's right before bed. Then I might share it the next morning.
Oh, same. Because
But
I just talked about my screen time. So.
yeah, that would be a great win. I should really start doing
That'd
that.
be a big
one.
win.
That would be a big win. So yes, I am gonna do that. I hope you guys join us for that little September challenge.
Yeah. So should we small wins September or September small wins? Maybe we should vote. Have them vote on it.
I like it.
When this
sounds better.
when this comes out, there's a few days before September. So go to our Instagram and tell us which name you like better.
Yes, we'll put that on a poll. I love it. Well, before we wrap up the episode, I did want to ask you as a challenge right now if you think you can come up with 3 small wins for your day.
Oh, okay.
I know we still got half the day to go through.
Yeah.
But I felt like it could be fun. My mental, I think I would say listening to the podcast on the way over here. Just because my brain was racing. I didn't really have anything to focus on. It felt like a really good mental win for me. And like being like an outlet for all my thoughts. Yeah. So I'd count that as my mental win today.
Good. I feel like I've been struggling with my mental today, but I
That's
did.
Right, good to look for.
Yeah, but I did after work decide to just go. A bunch of things have been piling up on my mental to-do list because we had a really busy weekend.
Yes.
It was the first weekend in a while that I wasn't able to leave open.
Really?
Yeah, because we had like fixed things that we had to do.
Yes.
Like things that, yeah. So anyway, so it was the first weekend in a while that I didn't have time to like do my chores and like grocery shopping and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But after work, I decided to I looked at my phone and I told myself, okay, at this time, I'm going to get up and I'm going to fold the laundry.
Nice.
So I did that while I listened to an audiobook. So that definitely
Nice.
like made my mind feel less cluttered.
Yeah.
And like I checked one thing off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. Physical, I would say, let's see. Ooh, I have not done it yet, but I will be meal prepping tonight. And I know that will be something I really need to get done. It will feel really good. It's not easy to do, especially being 35 weeks pregnant. Not easy. So I'm going to say that will be my physical for the day.
Okay. Physical for me is one of the things that we said. Actually, I really wanted a second cup of coffee pretty much immediately after I finished my first one. And I was like, okay, chill.
Yeah.
And so I didn't go for the second cup, and then I felt like I didn't need it. So
perfect.
That was a good win for me.
That's a really good one. My soul win. What will my soul win? I don't know if this would count, but I get to make it up, so it counts. But we talked earlier about potentially doing 2 episodes today, like recording 2. And I was like, I just know I won't be able to do it. And so I feel really good about that, of being like, okay, setting kind of like a boundary within myself for being like, I know I won't be able to do this, plus going home and meal prepping afterwards after getting off a full day. So I think I would consider that my soul win of saying like, okay, you like knew your limits and you set them pretty well.
Nice.
I'm proud of myself for that one.
Nice. That made me go between 2 because at first I was going to say my soul win was in that moment before I did the laundry and I looked at my phone to say, okay, this is the time I'm going to get up and do the laundry. It was like 15 minutes that I was just laying here with Eddard and snuggling him, and that was a soul win for sure.
That's a good one.
But then you made me think of earlier today. Like I said, we didn't get our grocery shopping done, and Jared texted me in the morning and said, hey, I made a grocery list. I'm probably going to go over lunch if you want to go with me. And when I came back from work, like in the middle of the day, he still hadn't gone yet, but he was like, I'm about to go to the grocery store. Do you want to come with me? And I was kind of like, oh, either way. And then immediately I was like, actually, no, I don't want to go. You go.
Actually, I could not handle it.
And I felt like that was a good soul win for me because like you said, like I just thought about it for a second and how I would feel. And I was like, actually, that's going to make me feel more frazzled.
Yes.
And I don't need that right now.
Yes.
So if he's willing to do that without me, I will let him.
I love it. Look at those ones. So 3 wins from each of us, somewhere on the list, somewhere not, but kind of shows you guys that you can really just reflect on your day, reflect on how your actions throughout the day made you feel, and then count them into these categories and figure out the small wins for the day.
Heck yeah. I'm excited for Small Wins September.
Me too.
September Small Wins, whatever we decide to call it.
Me too. I think it'll be really good for my mental. I'm just looking for the positive and not letting myself be bogged down by all the things that there are to do and all the mental stimulation and all the physical things that I'm going through and all that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I really hope you guys participate in Small Wins September / September Small Wins, whatever it ends up being. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode and got some inspiration from it.
Heck yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.
Cheers.